Такие вот эти остались наверху, заебись вообще. Да ты чё?
Welcome everyone. I seriously need to work on my camera angle, right? Anyways, today, as the title says, I'm going to make two dishes. Those being the mushroom stew and the cake. So, without further delay, for our stew base, we're going to need a red onion, a red bell pepper, bacon stripes, the mushrooms, of course, and half a leek. We begin by slicing the onion in a feather cut along with the red peppers in small sticks, followed by the leek, chopped in small pieces, just like the bacon, and you know what? Never mind. Just by looking at the actual recipe, we just need the mushrooms and voila. Well, until next time. Seriously now. Place a bit of butter in a hot pot, let it melt, and then add the bacon. Let it cook until it gets golden and crispy, and then add the tomato sauce. Let it cook for a couple of minutes and finally add the rest of the veggies. Stir and cook all the ingredients until they get completely coated by the tomato sauce, the butter, and the bacon fat. And after around 5 minutes, just add the wine. Then mix for a bit to integrate all the ingredients and let it cook for low heat for at least half an hour. Oh, and don't forget adding the garlic. Alright, to accompany this dish we're going to make some hash browns. First peel, wash and grate some potatoes. Wash it with water to take all the starch to prevent oxidations, and finally squeeze it again a strainer to get rid of all liquids so the final result doesn't come soggy. Then add some eggs or just yolks, it's up to you really, and finally some cornstarch. Yes, the reason why we are switching starches is because the cornstarch adds crunchiness to the hash brown, while the potato starch doesn't. Breadcrumbs works too. After seasoning up to your taste, we mix all the ingredients until they get integrated so we can proceed to form them in a patty leg shape and place it in a previously oiled kitchen tray so we can freeze it for an hour. That is optional but very effective. After half an hour, our stew base is cooked but not complete. Also smells amazing. At this point you can add a bay leaf and a piece of fungi porcini, but why now? Because I just want a little touch of that flavor, since those spices are very strong. But you can add it from the beginning. Now, the star ingredient. Put some butter in a hot pan, then add the mushrooms. Button mushrooms and portobello in my case. Just let them cook until they get cooked, and finally put them in the stew pot. Take the bay leaf out, and then finish with a generous dash of fresh cream. Then let it simmer until you get the desired consistency. Now that the hash browns are frozen and ready to fry, just put them in a pan or a pot with frying oil. I recommend one at a time, and if the recipient is big enough, then go for 2 at most. And then carefully flip them over. Well, my second attempt was way better, and this is the result. Golden brown and crispy. Okay, moving on. Start by mixing the sugar and the vegetable oil until they're integrated. We continue by adding the eggs and keep mixing until smooth and homogenized. Then, separately we mix the dry ingredients, these being the self-rising flour, cinnamon, dry ginger, nutmeg, and baking soda. Pass it all together through a strainer and mix it until smooth. Now, this is completely optional, since I love carrot cake. Just add some grated carrots into the mixture and integrate them, and it is finally ready for the oven. Now that it's done, just let it cool for a couple of hours, or I recommend overnight. Now just take it out of the mold, carefully. And then we can go for the icing. Just a regular royal icing, with icing sugar, a few drops of lemon juice, an egg white, and a dash of water. Now that this is smooth and ready, just proceed to cover the cake with it. And now that that's done, we go to the final topping. Honestly, I have no idea what the cake has in the game, but I decided to add some sliced chestnuts and dried blueberries. Thank you very much for watching, and if you like the content, please consider subscribing, sharing, and of course leave a comment. Oh shit!